Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys don't know who I am spiritual coach, life coach Coco, just somebody that wants to help you out in life. Today I'm going to be doing an oracle read for you guys because I'm seeing a lot of tarot card readers come online and they're not really saying anything. They're just telling you you're abundant, you're soulful, you're hopeful, you're a good person, you've been trying really hard. And I know some of you guys may need affirmations, but it's also feeding your delusion into things that you're not seeing. And it's also putting you in this repeated loop that, the changes that you're actually making are not mattering. And we have to be very careful with the verbiage that we use. We have to be very careful with the verbiage that we use, and then also we have to be careful with the spelling. So what was I gonna say? I forgot what I just said. Okay, my brain's a little, but we have to be careful with the words and verbiages. Oh, the word matter. So matter just doesn't mean that you don't care. Matter also means things materializing. Like matter is actually a particle. So a lot of people, like, I feel like I've had a lot of conversations with people in the past about just the meaning of words, what their name means, what certain words mean when they say it, knowing that words have double and triple entendres or whatever. So, and I don't mean whatever, but you guys get what I mean. A lot of the words that we use, they have double meanings to them. And if you guys don't care about science and I'll put it this way, if you care about science and you don't care about spirituality, you're missing out on the concept of you learning, and what you're trying to learn is going to be kind of lost in the sauce. Like you're going to be a logical person and a practical person. But if you're someone that believes in spirituality and doesn't believe in science, it's like science is a practice science. So even if it's a practice science, it doesn't mean that the things that they're studying aren't true. There could just be more information found out about the topic. And if you don't believe in science and you like spirituality, you're never going to come to the actual understanding and the root cause of what things actually mean and how they maneuver and how they work. So they all go hand in hand, whether you guys like it or not. I am just here to relay the messages to you. I'm not someone saying that I know everything in the world, but I am letting you know that the information that you get from me is true. Go find out yourself if you don't think that it's true, but it definitely is. And it's for the people that know, they know. So I'm going to be using today my Isis Oracle deck. I was wanting to get a different Oracle deck, and I should have got it when I was in New Orleans, but I wanted a pretty Oracle deck rather than one that I just learned from, because I feel all my other tarot decks are they're beautiful, but they're also they're kind of simple, some of them are very abstract and surreal, but I wanted a more beautiful deck. And it has this beetle on there. Gorgeous. Okay, so let's get into the reading. Let's do a quick prayer. And this is all going to be channeling and going through the Oracle deck. Okay. Heavenly Father, ancestors, spirit guides, and protective angels, higher self, lower self, and Mother God, thank you so much for bringing me here today. Thank you for the abundance, substance, and prosperity that you bring on it every day. Thank you for the sustainability. Thank you for the protection. Thank you for the guarantee that you bring into our life, knowing that we get to wake up and be in service to you. Today I'm going to be doing an Oracle read and just channeling any messages that may be important to the collective, or the messages that you may find more important to the collective. Please help me relay those messages with ease. Please help me relay these messages with confidence and exuberance. And I love you. And if you're not called on this reading, you're not welcome. Okay, so let me shuffle some cards and see what we get, because what I was already starting already, I just had a couple of people in mind that I feel like the things that people complain to me about, and this could be you too, collective, the things that people complain to you about, most likely you're not having those issues in that area, and maybe you are, but I feel like if someone's trying to give you advice in areas that they're not having the same issue, they will be able to give you the root cause of that issue. So if you're hanging around people and they're still giving you surface level answers, most likely they have not completely healed that part of their life, or they haven't overcame that obstacle yet. And that can definitely turn into like, it could turn again, it could turn you back right into the pattern and right back into the cycle. So let's see what spirit has to say today. Okay, I'm gonna have to sage these cards. Stay with me for a sec. Oh my God, my friend came over the other day and even though we were drinking together and we're just having like a good time, I was like, do you want some mullein in your drink so we can also help get rid of the mucus at the same time? And he was like, yeah. He was like, of course, I need that. I need that. Another thing, I stopped smoking. So even though I smoke like a little bit and I drink like while I'm at home, I'm not just drinking and smoking or doing anything like that. I'm actually trying to care more about my health so I can be on a different level. Also, all the people that are telling me, oh, I get my weed from a special man, or I get, the things that I get are, like I know it's sustainably sourced. You actually don't. And on top of that, I stopped smoking because I don't feel like I need it. Like I feel like before, when I was smoking, it was making me more depressed. It was making me cope with my problems. But for the most part, it was specifically for that. It was for my mental health. And so now that I have the energy and I have the time to take care of my mental health, I don't need smoking right now. And I wish that I could, because sometimes I'm like, man, I'm bored. But just to pass the time by, knowing that we only have probably 96 years to live on this earth. I'm not saying that you can't live longer. I just know for the most part, if we are on this earth for so long, I would like to spend at least more than half of it conscious of, my life. Maybe when I get old, I could just start smoking, and, if I have like someone who has a kid and then they have like a grandkid, then, like that could be my life. But for right now, I do really feel like smoking was hindering a lot of the spiritual messages that were coming in, but it was for my mental health. And so now that I don't have an excuse, like I'm not working like 80 hours a week, I'm not like trying to, I'm not striving for any goals that I feel like I would need to like be on a specific routine all day. I feel like I have the time to kind of, get my life together and have it be a little bit more prosperous, have it be more, just mundane, like to have it be more relaxed, have a more relaxing schedule. It's not always set all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to be somewhere all the time, so I get to bring you guys these messages. Spirit's also telling me, for everyone who's trying to start a business or who's like, starting a business or who wants to like get out of their work and job, you have to understand that when you work for yourself, you clock in every single day. You don't get that Saturday, Sunday off. You don't get that extra time off for the extra weekends. You can, but like when you're building your business, you're gonna need time to actually post something every day. You need to post probably 5 things a day. You probably need to figure out what's going on with other people, and you become your business's brand. Like it's not, unless you have the money to have a brand ambassador or hire somebody, it's you out on the streets. It's not a whole company. It's not a force behind you. And a lot of people, I've started a lot of businesses, and even the business I'm doing right now with tarot cards, like this is a different type of work that I feel like I need this. I need to connect more with spirit so I can have more messages to give you guys, so I can have more gospel. Okay, I'm like, it's hot in here even though I turned the fan on. So with everything that's going on right now, and you guys feel probably defeated or tired, or I don't want to do this anymore, you're hitting a brink where you're starting to understand where things are going wrong, where things were going wrong. I'm not saying things are going wrong for you right now, but you're starting to see the patterns that you put yourself in, all the times that you've ignored people, and you should have paid them more attention. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's coworkers, Maybe there were some people that because they were popular at work, you thought that hanging out with them was going to help you elevate, but in reality, they're just attention whores. So there is some illumination that's coming in. There's some epiphany moments for you guys. There's some huge realizations that a lot of you are like, man, it's actually me that put myself in this position. I stayed in this relationship too long. I decided to have kids with them. I decided to get married to them. I decided to choose this job that was 45 minutes away working every day. It was me. No one forced me to do it. I thought it was a good idea. I was in panic mode. I was in fight or flight, whatever you want to call it, and whatever you were experiencing. That is what is being illuminated at this time. So I'm glad that I am in a place in my journey where I can point these things out to you guys, okay? So let's see what Spirit actually has to say. These cards are still like stuck. I haven't used them since I got them in a reading yet. It's just been for like myself, and I drew a couple cards, but let's see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, what do you have to say to the collective today, my beautiful spirits, my spirit guides who help us on this journey, who guide us through the dark, who give us all of the ways and ideas and patience and passages, and they even help, they grieve with us as well. So, you know, for being such a supportive and thriving force, what do you have to say today to the collective? I'm going to pull 3 cards. Well, if you could give me 2 more cards to elaborate off of this first message. If I don't get it right now, I will definitely come back for it later, and I'm so appreciative. So I do have this card. It looks like this is Cleopatra. No, it's Isis. So stay true and be in your own power. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of Divine Authority. You guys might be coming into your actual soulmate and true partner. I'll give you guys a small story. I feel like I'm coming in contact. I'm coming in to contact with my soulmates. But what's weird about it is they're past versions of myself. Like, there's people who are versions of myself. When I dated someone recently, and that's who I was when I moved out to California. I was very hopeful. I was, you know, kind of a loner, hanging out by myself, feeling like I didn't fit in, you know, just working, being on the grind all the time. But I was very intuitive, and I was into my own works and my own practices and teachings. And I dated someone that was of that caliber, but he hasn't been in a relationship in a long time. So when we were having arguments, everything that I was saying towards him, as far as like, this is what I'm seeing from the outside, this is what I'm trying to change. Like, you know, it takes steps for you to actually fix problems sometimes. It's just not going to be overnight. And it was like pulling teeth from a baby. Like, he did not like what I had to say. He would shut down, and then eventually he would bring up like how he felt in our relationship or our connection, because we weren't, okay, you guys get it. But he would bring up like how he felt, and I was like, I understand how you can feel that way. However, this is the boundary that I need to have for myself, so you don't get the loving parts of me if you are failing me in certain areas. And he just couldn't take the negative feedback. And it wasn't even negative feedback. It was very constructive, and it was very well thought out. I didn't try to yell. I didn't try to raise my voice. But at some point, it's kind of like, I just told you I just got out of a relationship where the person couldn't take accountability and responsibility. So if you're not showing up for me, you're putting me back in the same position where I was just at. And I had to just heal myself from that. Literally, like, you were with me along the journey, healing myself and helping me and giving me advice and helping me understand. And you are literally putting me right back into that situation. So we couldn't have a close relationship because the men who I've been talking to, they have mother figures in their life who control their lives. And maybe this message is for the people out there that are struggling with mother in general, whether it's Mother Gaia, whether it's your own mom, whether it's a parent or a guardian that you actually grew up with, or you grew up with them and you had to switch and live like in a different household. Healing the mother wound and healing the divine feminine is so hard. I'm not saying that it's harder than the masculine. I'm not saying it's harder than anything else. I just think it's so hard when you don't have someone that, one, understands you, or even if you do have someone that understands you, they might not be able to show up in that motherly way that you're going to want to accept that. Because we're people and we have free will, we have a superpower that's hidden inside of us because our consciousness and our understanding and our will to learn, it separates us from any other animal. We don't have to live in primal instincts. We have a conscious brain where we can tell people how we feel, but now we're using our words as a weapon. And I'm going to tell you what this card says. So this is, I have to just find it in here, I guess. I don't know. It's not giving like a... It's not giving a number. Good thing it's Oracle, huh? Okay. It's called Stay True. So let me find it really quick. The Flower of Life, Eye of Horus. Okay, High Priestess, Initiation, Key of Life. I always get so excited also doing other people's readings because I'm like, oh my God, this is what's happening in your life. Like, how crazy. Or I'm like, oh my God, you're going through an initiation. Like, how crazy. So I do like doing readings for other people because then it does make me feel like, you know, like I'm not the only person that's going through all of these chapters and changes. But it does put me in understanding. It does put me in a more intuitive state of really understanding that we are all in this together. Like we strive to be bad, we strive to be good. It's an essence, it's an ebb and flow, but it doesn't mean that we may not get what we need at the end of the tunnel. So it says, Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of the Divine Authority, you are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within you. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as you choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as a precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being. The flail and crook, often held by Osiris, are symbols of divine royalty and domination. These symbols remind us that within we hold great domination, spiritual authority, and freedom to be a sovereign ruler of our own self. This does not mean that we have to control life. We have to control life or others or even the environment around us, but it does give us complete and utter choice to become spiritually awake, free, and self-determined as we wish to be, as well as providing us with complete choice as to what our values and actions will be in this lifetime. There's no permission required from anyone apart from yourself to be and live your truth. There are many voices that will test you on the journey from your illusory shackles of fear, lose, or abandonment that may hold you back or tempt you into giving your power away to others. You shall awaken from the testing into the realization of spiritual independence within. Of course, there is no spiritual authority than the recognizing that it lies within you. There are times when you must act on it, guard and protect it, which means recognizing when others seek to exert influence over you for their own reasons, or when you're being manipulated out of your own authority, becoming blind to your own power of choice, and instead of believing things just are the way they are, you cannot question or query. Sometimes during challenges, to wield the crook and fail, to exert one's own spiritual authority requires that you stand your ground and remain true to your knowing. This is not about achieving a certain outcome or attempting to control something or someone, or even forcing things to be as you wish they could be. Standing your ground means always telling yourself the truth and not selling out or giving away something that has genuine or spiritual and meaning for you. It is not about making another see things the same way. It is about honoring your truth. And if the truth is wise enough to include compassion, then honoring the other, even when the other disagrees with you or seeks harm out of their own fear. You do not have to challenge another in order to honor your truth and inner authority. If you feel that another has to agree with you in order for your authority to be intact, then this isn't genuine. Then it isn't genuine inner authority at all. The fact that you don't need to have agreement of others in order to live an empowered life can be a liberating realization. Yet there are times in life when you feel like the assault against your truths I don't know what's going on. Hold on, you guys. This is very itchy on my chin. My hair was there. Let me read that again. Okay. Yet there are times in life when you feel like an assault against your truths are with many challenging you. For those souls who have come to master spiritual authority this lifetime, this is a test to remain true without becoming dogmatic, to honor what you know is true without minimizing, judging, or dismissing the truths of another that are different to yours, but as true for them. You have the power to create your own reality, and you don't need permission from anyone to do this. Oh, sorry. Anyone to do this. Honor your spiritual sovereignty. Let the Lady Isis help you find your spiritual authority and freedom of choice now. If you have pulled the Queen of Heaven cards as well as this one, you are guided to deeply question the power of external authority figures in your life, whether they're spiritual teachers, gurus, parents, or employers. These beings may be doing their best to help you, but it's up to you to find out your own truths. These beings can be mirrors for your own awareness at best. You are guided to exercise care and discernment about any issue that feels like it is compromising your sense of self and personal power in such relationships. That issue is a soul healing trying to happen. Look within and see if you can grow through it in some way. There is much self-confidence trying to emerge within you. Seeking to hand over responsibility for your own well-being to another can be tricky and ultimately self-destructive path. Even though it may seem, oh my gosh, hold on, my hair is like, it's irking me, y'all. Give me a sec. Okay. Where are we at? I'll just start over. Seeking to hand over your responsibility for your own well-being to another can be tricky and ultimately self-destructive path. Even though it may seem to start off as a relief of stress, but some concern or other, this card also guides you to taking responsibility for your health into your own hands too. Advice from health professionals and doctors can be helpful, sometimes can be mistaken. It is up to you to decide for yourself how you wish to work with your body. Don't be scared. Listen to the advice given by the professionals, but remember, your life is a spiritual gift. Don't be afraid to live in it in your own way. So it has more, but I just read literally like 2 pages front and back. Well, I read, it was 4 pages, and okay, what did that mean to you guys? I have like, appointments coming up and everything, but I feel like I need to know what's going on so I can like attack it like both ways. Because when I tell people about how spirituality is causing health problems, they look at me crazy. I'm getting arguments. I'm getting everything back in the comments. And what something it said was listen to your body. People are only going to be able to help you so far in this journey. You have to do the inner work for yourself. And I've been figuring that out myself. I've really been trying to detach from people. So I'm sorry if I haven't been hitting you guys up. I've been trying to find my own happiness in life, because for me, one of my friends told me, they're like, you're looking to be saved. And I was like, to be honest, everybody's looking to be saved. But it's the fact that I've never felt completely safe around anybody. And feeling like that ever since you're a little girl, it's alarming. I don't care what men feel. I feel like if you're a woman, it is very alarming, and it puts you, it's like your soul can't rest easy. Like you feel unsettled all the time, because you don't know what the people around you, even the new people around you, are going to act like or what they're going to be. So you have to lean more on your insight and your discernment. You have to be so intuitive that you don't keep running back into the same situations and the same patterns. And sometimes when you're learning your spirituality and you're trying to find that discernment or that intuition and connect with your intuition more, there's like tests that are put in front of you. And surprisingly, I'm not a good test taker all the time. Like when I sit down and take the test, I get a little anxious, because I'm just like, okay, I know the information, but the fact that you're asking me in these type of ways where it feels like it's confusing, I feel like that's how people show up in your life sometimes. And it is a test. You saying that you don't want to drink and smoke anymore or go out to parties, and then people automatically inviting you. I don't know what that says for you, because sometimes you can use that energy and say, you know what, I'm going to try to do better and, live a different life. But when you choose something completely different, your old life is always going to want to come back. Your old life and old people in your life are always going to want to see what's up with you, what you've been going through, how you've been feeling. And the only thing that I can say is, when you feel like that and you feel like people are trying to connect with you, sometimes these people are trying to apologize to you. It's really up to you to govern your own life and be your own shepherd. It's really up to you to say, you know what? these people, they were very important in my life before. I don't mind hearing you out. You can be the Queen of Swords. You can be the King of Swords. But it's also find out why you're doing this. Because if you're just doing it for the plot, it's going to take up more time in your growth than what you need to. And my friend recently, he said something so funny. He was like, yeah, people are hitting me up. Like, he's like, if we're meant to come back together, we're meant to come back together. And I forgot to tell him. But it's also, sometimes people hit you back up because I'm not saying you're meant to come back together to create a union, but sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. Sometimes you're at a dead end, or you're at a door and you're in a path, maybe it's blocked. You might have to reverse your car a little bit to go back forward. And sometimes it's not to see, sometimes it's not a test. Sometimes you have to go backwards because you weren't seeing things clearly for the right time. You didn't see the directions right in the first time. So you decided to cut this person off, and you're like, you know what, now what, moving forward, I'm never going to deal with people like that again. That is a good way to look at it, depending on where you're at in your spiritual journey. If you're more evolved and you're somewhere in your journey where you know that people are people might change, people might not change, but the fact that they have the ability to, if you're someone that uses your discernment and you have very high discernment, you're going to understand when these people come back into your life, sometimes it's not always going to be for the reason of what you think it is. And you have to let God do God's work. You have to let God do her work. You have to let God come in and show you that, hey, sometimes people change and it's not always at the caliber that you want it to be, but you have the decision to, it's like you're the shot caller. I love being the shot caller, baby. As an Aries and born on the first and as a life path number 9, I'm the shot caller every single time. And people don't like that I'm specifically the shot caller because maybe I don't always exert my leadership skills. But there's a reason why they're choosing me. Okay, so I had to flex a little bit. We're done with that. Okay, let's see what this second card is. Is there any other messages? Also, you guys might be needing to have some fun is what I'm getting. The solar plexus it's like the solar plexus is the sun of the body. The solar plexus gives like all of the other chakras like energy, even though it starts at the root chakra. When your solar plexus is activated, I bet all of your other chakras are going to be amplified. And that's why you guys feel the most joy when you're doing things that are very like kindred spirit, like being creative, laughing with your friends, trying something new. All of those things, they activate your solar plexus. And when that happens, it's like a amplification. It's like that solar plexus is giving back to the heart, your mind, your soul. Like, you might find new stability. You might find yourself being and feeling very stable. When you're enjoying yourself and you actually enjoy like what you're doing. I am getting a message really strongly though about starting a business. Some of you guys might not know what the name is yet. Some of you guys might not understand like what type of business that you're doing. My advice is like, I guess Spirit's telling me do some journaling and who you are. So write some bullet points down, and what I would do is write down some bullet points, make 3 lists of bullet points. One of them needs to be how people see you. Another one is how you see yourself. And another one is who you would like to be. And just go down the list. And whether this is things, whether you heard people say things to you that this might be how you feel they see you or how they portray you, write it down anyways. Because a lot of the time, if these people haven't said these things to you, it's a projection of what you feel about yourself, okay? I wasn't going to make another video to give you guys like the tea and the end of that. But that's really what it is. The cons list of how other people see you. These are all the projections that you also put on other people. And you guys might be able to find and pinpoint exactly where the hurdle is, where the missing point is, where, something that you need to change. And it's usually right in front of us. So go ahead and try that activity. I did get some other cards. Flower of Life. God knows I love flowers. This says divine creativity and manifestation. So I was literally just talking about 2929. I was just talking about literally Your sacral chakra. I'm getting a lot of you guys need to also focus on your womb. Take a bath. Get back to yourself. I'm going to let you know right now, I have to make my bath experiences more enjoyable because I don't like my bath and how it's set up. I don't like looking at, it's not like perfectly grouted. It makes me feel gross, but I'm not there for that. So I guess just turn the lights off so you don't have to see that if you don't like your bedding or your bedding. That too. Sleep in linen. Stop buying polyester sheets. Don't buy cotton sheets either. Sleep in linen, and that's supposed to help. You can't sleep in cotton, but yeah, near here, there. Just look up some different sheets to sleep in, and that's going to help you sleep a little bit better. Okay, this is Flower of Life. I'm trying to find it in my book. I feel like I need to put some bookmarks in here so I know what page I'm going on, or maybe like a table of contents. Oh, there probably is a table of contents. I feel like I looked and there wasn't a table of contents, but there is. Flower of Life, that is on page, and it is in order, page 62. Oh, I just passed it. Oh, I just passed it again. Bow, bow, bow. Okay. This is like kind of a long video. Okay. You're entering a fertile period of your life. Focus on your innate creativity and how potent this is becoming, and watch how rapidly it grows. You are guided to think of yourself as a creative being and to surrender your control over how things will manifest. Instead, allow them to just do so. Don't resist change. Instead, flow and let it happen. Now is the time for your blossoming. Your soul is hungering for creativity and manifestation of beauty in your inner world too. Witness it and live in your physical world too. Much of your spiritual energy is directed into creative process, and your creative powers are growing fast now. As you're gaining more potency in your creative flow, it's important that you use this growing ability wisely. Become aware of how easy and quick your thoughts and feelings are manifesting into conversations, situations, and responses from the universe. Notice how quickly your prayers are confirmed through signs and dreams, intuitions, and opportunities opening up for you. You're becoming more and more swiftly that you, I don't know, the verbiage and wording sometimes that they use in these, they kind of take me back. Notice how quickly your prayers are confirmed through the signs and dreams and intuitions and opportunities opening up for you. You're becoming more and more swiftly that which you choose to think, feel, speak, and believe. This oracle suggests that I don't know why I can't read this for some reason. The oracle suggests that the time is right for you to choose to align yourself with love each morning so that your thoughts will serve you well, and manifestations set in motion will be ones that enhance your life experience rather than more of what you don't want to experience. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but again, I was just also telling my friend this. I was like, what do you do in the morning? And I was like, affirmations. I feel for myself in the morning. I do what my body tells me to do. Usually I wake up and I am a little depressed when I wake up. And people would probably tell me, and I'm just being honest with you guys because I want to be open and free and truthful on this page. A lot of people, I'm just not at a place right now where I feel happy in my choices. And it's not even that. I feel like because God is giving me the time to rest, and the Most High is giving me the time to rest, that my days are not exciting. I have to find creativity throughout my day. I am somebody that likes to spend money, and that's why I do like being in relationships, because in that relationship, I feel like I can blossom a lot more because there's a soundboard to kind of bounce off of. There's somebody else there that's always there, but Spirit is letting me know that Spirit is right here with you. But it just, I like to challenge the spirit guides sometimes and let them know, like, being in a 3D body is not a joke. Being in a 3D body and always having to be in this high frequency and be the person that's intellectual and be the person that, you know, is open for people and have an open heart, but still have boundaries and still love yourself, but still give yourself to others. It pulls you in this direction where you have to be the sun. You have to be able to find light in areas that, you know, you usually wouldn't find light in before. Like, you're shining on places that you didn't even know were hidden gems. But it's the fact that sometimes as a person, we have to maneuver things out the way to even figure out where the light needs to be shown. And I guess you could say I struggle with that, but I think a lot of people struggle with that. And it's just becoming one of those things where being in constant work and being a serve in service all the time, it gets a little depressing, at least for me. I don't know what it's like for everybody else, but I guess I can tell you the reasons why I'm depressed is because I wish that sometimes life would speed up so I can get to the good parts that make more sense for me. Being closer with my family, being closer with my friends. I feel like my friends change every about like 7 years. I get like a new group of friends. The spiritual people in my life, sometimes their vibes rub me the wrong way, and they're not always willing to share what they feel. So it's like, I don't want to confide in them either. They're not people that are genuinely, that I think are very nice or kind people, because if you don't know me from anywhere, you're not willing to ask questions and get to know who I am, but there's a strong judgment, or you'd be like, oh, there's something weird. If you're a true spiritualist, you'll know that a weird feeling is not always a bad feeling. You have to know what the patterns and the signatures are for things that are bad for yourself. And I feel like I'm learning what those things are, and I am trying to become more congruent with my mind, body, and soul, and my spirit, so I don't necessarily always have to think so much as far as like, oh, is this situation good for me, or should I do it for the plot, or, you know, I wasn't having fun, like, is this the chance for me to have fun? And me just being able to go with the flow and not question myself has been, it's been gratifying, but it's also has been what has it been? I would think it's been a bit discouraging, because I feel like I've experienced a lot in life, and the fact that people are like, oh yeah, you know, you experience a lot in life, but like sometimes things have to be cool, they have to be chill, and I just find it as boring. I'm sorry, it's boring. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. This is my truth, and I feel like I want more excitement in my life. But I want excitement that's not going to run me ragged. I want excitement that's going to fill my cup and fuel my soul. I want excitement that's going to be everlasting, you know? And I feel like I've had that before, even though it was like scary sometimes, but like, man, at least there's something to do, something that I can look forward to. And now that I kind of know what things are, it's hard to have that hope when you know what the patterns are. So spirit sometimes will make your life very chaotic, so you don't know when good things are happening. And maybe I'm explaining it in the wrong way, but you guys get what I mean. Like, things get really, everyone's like, oh, before your breakthrough happens, life gets really hard. Well, how many times do we have to deal with that as people? And why do we have to deal with that as people? I know why, but that's a question for y'all. So, magic and ritual, crafting a sacred space. So let's see what that is. 102. My nose is itching. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That's what I'm saying, like things like that, like my nose itching, my ear ringing. The hash slinging, the hash bringing, the hash slinging slasher. Okay, so we got magic and ritual, crafted sacred practice. Effect in the external world can be created through inner practice. Magic and ritual can support your divine path now and in the physical world. Sorry, my nose is itching. And you're encouraged to, it's just like, so many things are happening. My eye is twitching, my ear is like popping, and my nose is itching, and it's really stressing me out right now to have all of these symptoms and things going on at the same time. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna start over. Effect in the external world can be created through inner peace. Magic ritual can support your divine path now in the physical world, and you are encouraged to enhance your power with regular practice. This results that you experience will encourage you to continue with the practice as you grow in power, grace, love, ability, and wisdom, and apply your inner beauty to transform your outer world. For us to grow empowered and potent on the path of ancient feminine power, we need to honor our knowing and being and cultivate sacred practice. Sacred practice becomes the habit of growing our spiritual power and consciousness, like a garden needing regular care and watering to blossom and flourish. Our inner garden of the soul, where our creativity, joy, spiritual gifts, bliss bubble away, also need regular attention. Coming to our practice takes strength and inner will. Even though it can feel amazing, we still have to wake up and set aside time for to discipline ourselves to show up for our inner growth. We will reap the benefits when we do, but we must allow ourselves to fall in love with our practice, to craft something that really speaks to us, so that when we want to do it, the desire and discipline together help us engage with our practice regularly, and we can grow so fast it can be quite shocking. So, okay, inner work, practice on, and I'm sorry I'm bringing this energy to this reading. It just really gets me because I was talking to one of my mentors and he was like, we grow just like how trees grow. And it's crazy because depending on where you are in this ecosystem, we see people who are making money easily like this. You're seeing people, they just got lucky off of a whim. Some people are saying it's written in their cards, it's written in their fortune. But then certain spiritual people, we have to do the inner work. And I would love to have a conversation with a spirit who has done their inner work and they still didn't receive the gifts that they were looking for in this lifetime, because what they were looking for is not what they were supposed to achieve. Because I feel a lot of the time spiritual leaders, we have to be the leader and we have to put ourselves forward. But then, if one thing's out of place, it can set us all the way back down to ground zero. And, we have to stop thinking that life is going to be fair. I don't think that life is going to be fair, but I'm somebody that is going to bring fairness to the ecosystem, to this foundation that we have. There has to be some type of balance. I feel like we have to question a lot of the things that are happening, because if not, just doing what we're supposed to be doing and doing what we're told. A lot of the time our parents did that, and look at the situations that we're in right now. Not being able to pass on information to, I feel like this is for some of you guys, not being able to pass on information to your kids, to your grandchildren before people die, knowing that you're supposed to tell them something, is a selfish act, and it is hindering the growth that we can have as people. And I can firmly say that it was my fault that I didn't go see my aunt before she died, because I was so angry with my parents and I was just so sick of their childishness and foolishness that I just didn't go. I was so done. It was a very long weekend and I was like not sleeping at my house. I wasn't comfortable. I'm not comfortable sleeping at other people's houses. It's just not going to happen. And I was in such a low vibrational state that I let myself make the decision to not go see my aunt before she died. And I know that she probably would have had some important information for me, but I just want to let you guys know that it's okay to not always feel like you're doing the right thing, because we're going to have the choice to do the right thing